Welcome to Solving Systems. So here are some review videos for you that I made so that you can get acquainted with systems again for our quiz Tuesday. And it's not going to be like this. We're not going to be preparing a few different options. With systems, you have one solution, and the solution is an x and a y coordinate. And after we work through this video, you should feel like all the applause is for you. Now I'm specifically doing that for Michael so that he feels as though I've amped it up a bit. So let's solve one of our problems using elimination. The reason we solve using systems is because we have two variables and we need to figure out a way to solve for one so that we can get the other. So in this example I have here, x minus 2y equals negative 19 and 5x plus 2y equals 1 is a beautiful example for elimination. I want to add up my two equations, and when I do that you'll see that my y's cancel and I end up with 6x equals negative 18. I solve for my x variable, divide by 6, and x equals negative 3. Once I have the value for my x, I can go ahead and plug it in for my y. So let's make a little bit of room here. I am a big writer, and it's going to be the first equation that I will plug it into. So negative 3 minus 2y equals negative 19. I am going to add 3 to both sides, plus 3, and we end up canceling out our 3's, and we have negative 2y equals negative 16. I'm going to divide my negative 2, divide my negative 2, my 2's cancels, and y equals 8. So my solution would be that x is negative 3 and y equals 8. Now you're probably wondering, is there a way that I can check step this? And of course there is. You want to plug it back into usually the other equation. So since we used this first one here to solve, I would plug it into this second one here. So what we're going to do is, knowing that our solution is negative 3, 8, and we have our second equation, is we just substitute the values in. So 5 times negative 3 plus 2 times 8 equals 1. Negative 15 plus 16 equals 1. 1 equals 1, and it works. You can also plug it back into this other equation to be absolutely sure, and systems are tricky, so I do suggest you do that. Plugging it in, we have negative 3 minus 2 times 8 equals negative 19. Negative 3 minus 16 equals negative 19, and negative 19 equals negative 19. Check. Okay, so we've got our first one solved. Now let's try for another one, a little more complicated. Okay, so we have another new one. If you look at this system, in these two equations, if I add my x values, they do not cancel. If I add my y values, they do not cancel. So what I need to do is change one of the values. I can see here that I've got two positive 4's, so if I can change one of them to a negative 4, then I can easily eliminate. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply our second equation by negative 1. So my new equation would be negative 1 times negative 2 is 2x minus 4y equals negative 8. Everything is multiplied by negative 1. And then I'm going to bring down my initial equation, my first equation, equals 18, and we add them up. So we have 5x, y's cancel, equals 10. Divide by 5, and x equals 2. So let's take a look at the other side. If x equals 2, what is y? I always go back to my original equations to substitute in and solve for the other variable. So since I used this one I had changed, I would go back to the original, or I can use my 3x. So 3 times 2 plus 4y equals 18. 6 plus 4y equals 18. Subtract 6, subtract 6. 4y equals 12. Divide by 4, divide by 4. And now we're going to cancel our 4's, and y will equal 3. So my solution is 2, 3. And of course, we must check step it. So we're going to go to a new screen. So I've copied our original equations down, and I've written our solutions down as well. We're just going to substitute it into the second equation. So negative 2 times 2 plus 4 times 3 equals 8. Negative 4 plus 12 equals 8, and 8 is equal to 8. Check. And let's do the next equation. Oop, I didn't mean to cross that out. 3 times 2 plus 4 times 3 equals 18. 6 plus 12 equals 18. 18 equals 18. And we check, and it looks like we have success. So, once again, we deserve a little applause. And that's how we do elimination. I will do a separate video on how to do substitution. So if you have any questions, Edmodo it. And I hope that you guys are happily studying for the Tuesday quiz. Have a great weekend.